Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast. I am your host, Dr. Marisa Snyder, and I'm here to help you rock your hormones and feel great in your body so that you can reclaim more energy, vitality, and joy, and become the CEO of your health. Let's jump on in. Can you recall the very first wearable health and lifestyle device that you wore? Was it an Apple Watch, or maybe it was a Fitbit? For me, it was definitely a Fitbit. The very first Fitbit, because I felt like everyone had to have one. Like many people, I wanted to increase my steps to the magical number of 10,000 steps a day and move my body more. And what was so cool is that, as you know, you could see those steps in real time. And by seeing those throughout the day, it helped me to hit my goal most days. And I loved that I spent more time outside in nature. I took the stairs more often. I parked further away from the store or the farmer's market. Like I really wanted to hit that 10,000 number on a daily. Now, over the years, wearable devices and other biohacking devices have been created to give us a greater understanding of our health and how to make real-time decisions based on the data that we receive. Talk about gentle, real-time accountability, and also giving us a path of least resistance when it comes to making positive changes for our body. Now, over the last year, and what a year it has been, I have really depended on real-time information from devices that I'm going to be sharing with you today to help direct my decisions about my health, and they have made all of the difference. I am more committed to my health because I am raising the most adorable little human, as you know, and I want to be the best version of myself when I am with him. And that means creating more energy and resilience. Now, I have always been a fan of creating more energy, but I am really a fan of it today. And knowing when my body can and can't be pushed has been such an important part of this last year, because I have learned the hard way, and you probably have too, that pushing my body when it has nothing left in the tank is not a good idea, right? You are grouchy, irritable, and you just can't play full out. You can't function the way that you want to. So with that said, I'm going to share with you my top 5 biohacking devices to uplevel your health, your energy, your metabolism, and mood, because these are the things that matter most to me, and I have a feeling they are top on your list as well. So number 1, and number 1 is literally my favorite. They're not slotted in as my top 5, but we are going to start with my number 1 favorite. And that is the biggest biohacking device that has moved the needle in my health is the continuous glucose monitor. Now, I know you've heard me talking about a CGM, especially last year, but overall, wearing a CGM for approximately about 6 months, I had a couple months off. I dropped my average glucose from 85 milligrams per deciliter to 75 milligrams per deciliter, and that is huge. It is a small hinge that swung a very big door in my health, especially my metabolic health, and most importantly, my energy. Now, when it comes to CGMs, the one that I love the most is the Abbott Global Freestyle Libre. I love it because it's simple, easy to use. I love their interface. But the other one, which is like kind of the big mamma jamma of the CGMs, is Dexcom, the Dexcom 6. But if you were to get started, there's a couple different companies where they use the Freestyle Libre. I also loved to pair it with the technology. One of the companies that I loved so that I could better understand my metabolic health was Levels Health. So anytime I was wearing a CGM, I was using the Levels Health app. And what they do is they interpret your constant blood sugar levels throughout the day, and they take into account sleep, stress, food that I was eating. And so it would give me a greater window into my metabolic health and how my body was using fuel as energy. Now, when I was wearing a CGM consistently, I was really able to dial in my metabolic health, and I felt so incredible. Like I felt the good energy. I felt the mental clarity. I wasn't having big blood sugar swings. I just felt more stabilized energy over time. But also I've shared that I have a genetic predisposition to type 2 diabetes on my mom's side of the family. And so keeping myself in good insulin sensitivity, not moving towards insulin resistance, as so many of us do as we hit perimenopause and beyond, was a bigger win for me. So that has been huge. And because I have been so obsessed with the CGM. I'm actually going to get a new one put on this next month because, again, I think measuring that and knowing that information on a day-to-day basis has made the biggest difference for me. Now, if you want to learn more about the continuous glucose monitors and what they do, how they work, all the things I give you the full 411 in episode 284. What a continuous glucose monitor taught me about my metabolic health. So definitely go check that out. I do have 2 episodes with Dr. Casey Means as well, who is one of the founders of Levels Health, where we also go into metabolic health and the importance of measuring blood sugar. So there's a lot of episodes on the show if you want to dive deeper into insulin resistance, metabolic health, blood sugar levels, blood sugar spikes, and CGM wearables. All right, number 2, another device that my husband turned me on to, mind you, after many, many months of dragging my feet, is the Whoop strap. I actually have it on right this second. Now, I was really hesitant to wear a Whoop strap because I didn't want Whoop to tell me how bad my sleep was, since, as I've shared as well on the show, we are co-sleeping with Kingston and I'm still breastfeeding. And so Kingston wakes up and definitely still has snacks, right? That's what's going on in my life right now. But for Christmas, lo and behold, my husband gifted me with a Whoop strap, and I've been wearing it every day this entire year. Now, what I've really found helpful about the Whoop strap, this is what I take mostly from the Whoop strap, is it calculates your body's overall recovery and resilience. So what that means is it's analyzing your key metrics like heart rate variability, which is so important, right? Heart rate variability is really your coherence, your homeostasis. When we're in a constant state of stress, that's going to be off. It also looks at your resting heart rate to determine daily recovery. It also takes into account sleep and shows how your specific lifestyles and training behaviors, that's workout behaviors, affect recovery. Now, this recovery score gives you a great picture for how hard you can push yourself every single day, especially when it comes to working out or just pushing through a really, really busy day. It's like giving you a battery score. And what I love so much about that is I can really gear my day. I can gear my workouts. I can gear, anything that I'm doing. I can change and rearrange my schedule based on where I am in terms of recovery. I know that when I'm above a 75% on recovery, that I can work out harder. I can do heavier weights. I can push the workout. Like I can really push my metabolic function. But when I'm under a 60%, definitely under a 50% recovery, those are light days. I may do a bike ride or a hike or a walk. I may change my schedule, may not overschedule. Like there are definitely days where I'm overscheduled, and there are days where my recovery is in the crapper. And I just know that I'm not going to be able to show up for my family and myself if I try to make that day happen. So this is what I love so much, is that I can try to tune in to how I feel, but I find that I'll muscle through how I feel. But when I see a number on the app that says, no, you have a 30% recovery, that's just like kind of the real accountability proof that you need to simmer down. You need to take a step back because you don't got what you need in the tank to make the day happen. You got to do some things that are going to support you and love up on you. Also, Whoop tracks sleep and gives you a sleep score based on the actual amount of REM sleep and deep sleep that you're getting. The sleep score feeds into your overall recovery, as I mentioned. And lastly, Whoop also tracks skin temperature, blood oxygen levels, resting heart rate, respiration rate, heart rate variability, and it shares all on the interface. And so at any time you can tell if you're inside of the optimal ranges for your health, your body, your age, all of those things. And I'm particularly most interested in heart rate variability and respiratory rate, as they are an indication of the amount of stress that I'm dealing with on a daily basis. So when those levels are off, I know that I need to implement more breathing exercises throughout the day to get myself back to a good base level. Now, speaking of heart rate variability, I want to dive into number 3, which is heart math. Now, heart math is my go-to. It's been my go-to for reducing stress and anxiety by optimizing my heart rate variability and my heart coherence. The heart math device connects your ear, and then it connects to a heart math app on your phone, and it can help you get into heart coherence by breathing and calming down your central nervous system. So it can basically take you from fight or flight, hot mess, to calm, relaxed, Zen yoga self, right? That's what it can take you to. Now, I have always loved this technology and its ability to show you if you are in coherence with your body or not, right? Meaning if you're stressed or not, you're overwhelmed or not, you're anxiously prone or not. Now, the goal for this HeartMath technology is to move you back into balance, release that stress and anxiety, and to over time build resilience. And I think that's the third piece is the most important piece, is that the more consistently you use technology like HeartMath, you build resilience. You build that emotional resilience. You build that stress resilience so that when the same kind of stressor comes at you, you don't react in the same way. You've built up that ability to manage that with more grace. As you bring your physical, mental, and emotional systems into coherent alignment, you begin to experience increased access to your heart's intuitive guidance. Turning into your heart's wisdom creates a profound shift within that helps you approach situations with more emotional balance, more compassion, more clarity, and personal confidence. This is great to have at work or by your bedside at night so that you can check to see if you are in coherence and get guided into relaxation as you release from stress. So if you know at night you are lit up and you've got that mental chatter and you just can't seem to calm your brain, HeartMath is such a phenomenal tool to get your hands on and to just have with you. So I highly recommend it. Number 4, a blood ketone monitor. Now, when it comes to blood ketone monitors, my go-tos are Keto Mojo or Precision Extra from Abbott Global. Now, Abbott Global was also the brand that made that Freestyle Libre. And this is great for tracking ketones. It's been a game changer for me when it comes to creating more metabolic flexibility. I believe we all need to be more metabolically flexible, right? Either we're burning sugar or we're burning fat, but we need our bodies to be able to switch in between the two. And if you're not able to get yourself into some level of ketosis to kind of train your body to do so, your body has a hard time moving into that metabolic flexibility. So many of the women that I've connected to don't really have the metabolic flexibility that they want for energy and clarity, especially when it comes to our brain function. Now, although I don't believe that we are meant to be in ketosis for a long period of time, I think short bursts are what's key for a women in particular. I do find being in ketosis helpful, especially when trying to create more insulin sensitivity, stable blood sugar, and to lose weight, especially the stubborn visceral fat that we could be holding on to. That is inflammatory fat as well. So that's more my concern, is I want to make sure that we are holding on to inflammatory fat that is lending to more insulin resistance, that's lending towards more metabolic dysfunction. I believe that we also need to honor our menstrual cycle and eat foods that are going to nourish our hormones as well. So there's a lot of different ways to eat clean keto. I love Dr. Anna Kabeka's Clean 16 and Dr. Will Cole's Ketotarian books because they bring in a lot of those alkaline foods that are really going to help support our bodies. Now, if you want to learn more about ketosis and hormones, definitely check out my episode with Dr. Sarah Godfrey. It's episode 314, Why So Many Women Struggle with Stubborn Weight and the Benefits of Keto for Hormone Health specifically. All right, number 5. Now, it's not a wearable device, but it is a device that I use a lot, and that is my Peloton app and bike. Now, I will say that I use the Peloton app more than the bike because the app's got everything. It's got it going on. But from bike rides with Robin and Ali Love to Flash 15s with Jess Sims to meditations, yoga, weight training, core workouts, and everything in between, my Peloton app has something for everyone. This has been my saving grace during the pandemic and still today. As a mama who works from home, I have built a little sanctuary in my bedroom. I've got my weights, I've got my yoga mat, I've got my bike. I basically can lock myself in there so that the baby doesn't see me, because once he sees me, oh my goodness, there is no escape. He is very much attached to his mama right now. And I tap into Peloton classes every single day, whether it's a meditation or it's a 15-minute quick yoga class or it's a 10-minute bike class. I stack a lot of classes depending on what my time looks like. And literally just before recording this episode, I did a 20-minute pop ride class with Robin Arizona. She is my go-to woman. I love her polishing the crown with sweat. She's just amazing. She's a new mama as well. And I feel so good. And now, what I love so much about the app, because I know the bike is expensive, I totally get that, is that the app is really well priced and you get all of their classes on your phone. So if you've been looking for something that has it all and you don't have the Peloton app yet, I think it's worth checking out for a month and seeing if you get some benefit. Like I said, they've got bar classes, they've got cardio classes, they've got kickboxing classes. I mean, they've got the whole thing. They got the whole nine. And I just find that in their short classes, that's what matters to me, right? I think the longest class I take is a 30-minute class. One, because I just find that my body does best with 30 minutes. And two, I don't got time for anything more than that. If I do have time for another class later, I'll do a 10-minute or 15-minute class. Then I'll just knock out. And that's just kind of where I'm at in my season right now. And I know that everyone is in a different season, but quick and easy is what I'm looking for these days. And of all the different fitness apps I've used over the years and all of the personal trainers and gyms and everything, it's just been the thing that has been the game change for me. So I just wanted to share what I love and what's working for me. So there you have it. My favorite biohacking devices for energy, metabolic function, clarity, and overall resilience. And as I mentioned earlier, these devices have changed my life because since having Kingston, I've just had to rework a lot of things. And I want to make sure that I'm showing up to be my best self. My time and my health is more valuable than ever before. And having this information at my fingertips has made all the difference. And it's allowed me to make real-time decisions about my health for the better. I feel like I am in the best health of my life today because I have used a lot of these wearables and a lot of these different devices. So if you have a device that you love, I probably didn't hit it because I only did 5 today, but I would love to know what's working for you. Shoot me an Instagram message, a DM on Instagram at Dr. Mariza, DrMariza, because I would love to hear what you are using and what is working for you. As always, thank you so much for listening in on today's Essentially You podcast. This show is all about providing tools to rock your hormones and feel amazing in your body. If there is someone in your life that needs to hear this today, take a moment, screenshot it, send a text on over to them, or share it on social. And when you do share on social, hashtag hormone literacy or hormone CEO. Until the next episode, have an amazing day.